But yeah, we can start soon.
Yeah, no, I'm good to go whenever you're ready, man. Alright, before we start that, which one do you want to do first? Do you want to do Elvis or Priscilla?
We can do Elvis first.
Alright, sure, sounds good. Cool.
Alright. Alright. Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the Dead Film Critics Society podcast. Today, as always, I'm here with my beautiful co-host, Aiden Billing. And today we will be talking about two movies. We will be talking about both which have extravagant people, I would say. I think that's what
that's
two
for
films
sure.
share for sure. We have the newest Baz Luhrmann film, Elvis, starring Austin Butler and Tom Hanks. And then we have Priscilla, Queen of the Desert, starring Guy Pearce, Terrence Stamp, and Hugo Weaving. So let's first get into some news. Aiden, what do you got for us?
Yes. Alright, well, the first piece of news I got is, I don't know if you know who this is, but Alden Ehrenreich, he played Solo in that Solo A Star Wars Story spin-off film a couple years ago, but he's been recently cast in the, I think Ironheart's either a TV show or a movie? I think it might be a TV show or something, but I know he's going to be in that. I don't know what he's, I don't know who he's playing, but I think he could probably do a decent job of it. He's a good actor. I liked him as Han Solo. It's just a pity that movie didn't really do very well, you know. Yeah. Kind of underutilized, but yeah, that's too bad. But can I be honest with you?
Yeah.
I'm starting to get really bored with the MCU. I'm not gonna lie. Like,
yeah,
I am starting to find it quite stale. And you know, I haven't even finished Miss Marvel yet because I gotta say, like, I have nothing against the main actor,
started it.
I got so bored with it, dude. I couldn't even get through episode 3. It's not a very engaging show. It's just I've seen it so many times, and yeah, it has a new coat of paint on it, but it's fundamentally the same shit we've been seeing, you know? The only, like, TV shows that are really, like, kind of gone out there, you know, I think is probably, like, maybe WandaVision, but more Loki, I guess. More Loki, you know, I think Loki's the most out there Marvel show, and as a result, I liked it the most, you know? But, yeah. I mean...
It did get a nomination for cinematography at the Emmys, probably for that...
Well, I mean, well-deserved. I still remember that, like, gorgeous, like, one-take sequence they did on that planet that was about to be, like, killed by a... asteroid or something like that, which was really cool.
Better Call Saul, though, which I'm very upset about, I must say.
I'm sorry, they didn't nominate Better Call Saul?
No, not at all. Not for cinematography or directing. Well, only one writing, which is just...
You serious?
Kind of disrespectful, if I'm being honest.
Yes,
but
I'm
at
not
least...
Sorry. Siri thought I was talking to her.
Yeah, but at least Rhea Seehorn did get nominated, finally. She hadn't been nominated for, I think, any of the seasons up to this point, which is
okay. Well, that's something, I guess.
I don't know. She is one of the best written female characters in television. Period. I'd say.
I am still yet to watch Better Call Saul. I've been meaning to for quite a while. Sometime
you should, for sure.
But,
I just saw the first episode of the second half of the final season. Still, very good episode. I don't think it's as everyone else is calling it a masterpiece. I think it's a very good episode. I wouldn't really call it a masterpiece. I think the other episodes have been better, but still 9 out of 10 for sure. And like
that's still pretty damn good.
And like going into the rest of the season, I'd say it's like a 10 out of 10. Like I legit think that season 6 might be my favorite episode, like season television potentially, if it keeps like this going to the finale.
Okay, well that's alright. That's good to know.
Yeah, I mean, it already has 3 episodes above a 9.7 on IMDb, so...
Oh, wow.
That's how you know. That's how you know it's...
No, that's actually pretty good then, yeah, shit. Alright. Definitely something I'll be needing to watch soon then.
Yeah. No,
yeah. Sure. Also, speaking of Miss Marvel, like, I haven't told you, I haven't made it past episode 3, but I did hear about the twist at the end of it. Like, apparently, Kamala Khan is an X-Men or something like that. Or like a mutant, they worked that in. Apparently, they kind of when she said like what she was, not what she said. Sorry, I think her friend was telling her that there was some kind of mutation in her. They played like a little riff from the X-Men '97 like theme, which people are like freaking out over because obviously it's a very beloved TV show, right? I think that's kind of cool. I don't know if it's gonna make me want to watch the rest of the show. I might do it eventually, but it's not on the top of my list, to be honest. I have a lot more pressing things to take care of at the moment. But yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah. And also, apparently there's been some rumors lately that what's it called? Ryan Gosling was going to play Nova in the MCU, but he's like shut them down. But he is saying that he's open to playing Ghost Rider. I don't know what you think about that. I don't know how familiar you are with the character, but do you think he'd do okay?
I don't know. It feels a little bit weird just knowing that Nick Cage played that character. Or now Ryan Gosling too. It feels like
it's a pretty big change.
Pretty big change as far as actors go. The only thing I know they share as actors is they're white males. That's about it.
That's true.
So,
yeah. I mean, also one's a completely unhinged madman, you know.
Yeah. And Ryan never really plays a character that freaks out. And even the one character he does kind of play that freaks out is literally a robot, like in Blade Runner.
But even then, he's pretty stoic for most of the movie.
He's like, even his rage is kind of like a controlled one.
Yeah.
Like, it's a very, like, it's not like a human one. It's almost like a, again, it has
machine
that
one,
sort of machine-like to it, which I think is, tribute to how good he is in an actor and the direction on that film.
Yeah.
Very well done. But, I mean, I think it's fine. I don't know. He's someone who's like big enough that I think he doesn't need to I'd really like to see some of these smaller actors, like ones that haven't had big projects, maybe get an MC project. That way they get their name out there. You get probably a good check. That way they can maybe get the chance to create something that's really meaningful to them.
That's true.
What I'd like to hope that gets out of all this stuff. Which is why I think I don't know if I was saying this before, but I think I personally think Taika should be done with the MCU, in my opinion. I think, he should be focusing on his other projects.
No, you're definitely right there. I'm starting to agree more and more with that. But, I mean, I think we're also forgetting that, like, technically speaking, like, Ghost Rider's already been in the MCU. I don't know if you know this, but he was in the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. TV series a while ago. I can't remember who played him, but why don't they ask that guy to come back? Because, I mean, like, he's not a super big name from what I remember. So it kind of fits that category, so it would be alright.
Who knows? And I mean, obviously it helps Marvel if there's like a star involved. That obviously boosts sales for them. But like also they are Marvel, and I feel like they should take knowledge of that and be like, they should have enough confidence to do, to cast a Simu Liu in more of these roles, even in any of these roles, and like. In some ways, with Simu Liu, they were kind of forced to cast someone like him, because who else is like known as like, a charismatic Asian athletic lead type?
Jackie Chan.
Exactly, but
but he's like 1,000 years old now.
You can't have him play. They basically were tasked with finding the next Jet Li, the next Bruce Lee, the next Jackie Chan.
Yeah.
And they picked Simu Liu, but.
Well, not a bad choice. Still,
like, while he's obviously doing a lot of karate in that and a lot of fighting, I think they were still trying to differentiate him from other. Like, in some ways, they were creating the one of the first Asian, like, big Asian leads in like a blockbuster or a franchise.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I think it would be cool one day to see like a Jurassic World if they're gonna keep making Jurassic World movies. Which they probably will, considering Dominion did pretty well. To see them at least, no one's like people. Like some people are there for Chris Pratt, but the majority of people there because of the Jurassic Park brand. They're there for the CGI dinosaurs. So it's like, why not give it a chance? You maybe throw in some supporting characters that are big faces that you can throw on the poster, but at least give some more people a chance through these franchise films. And I hope that stars kind of force them to do. I want stars, once they have that position of influence, to kind of just do what they want to do. And I mean, I guess if they really want to make an MCU film, all power to them. But, like, I feel like that's most often not the case. And it's more, while they maybe like the project enough that there's always money involved. And they might, people might read, like, a Taika Waititi Thor script and be more willing to be in it. But in the Christian Bale, for example. But in the end, I think Christian Bale did want more of that superhero check.
Hmm.
So, anyways, you got any more news?
Not really. No, I'm not gonna lie. I maybe could have prepared a bit more for the news section, but I spent a lot of time,
Nah, it's alright.
making some notes and shit for Elvis, and
That's all good. No, that's good
yeah.
stuff.
What do you got? I know you're gonna have some bangers for us, so let's fire away, man. What do you got for today?
So Army Hammer was reportedly working as a timeshare
I
salesman.
saw that. Yeah. Oh my
Apparently, he
god.
is indeed doing that at a hotel in the Caymans. Prior to working as a timeshare salesman, he was managing an apartment complex. So I guess, yeah, obviously he's pretty done with Hollywood, which makes sense because no one should hire him considering what he's
Yeah.
done.
I'm also just wondering though, because like his family is like quite wealthy. If you didn't know, like he comes from like old money. So I'm just wondering, did they cut him off or something? That must have been what happened.
I don't know if that's necessarily true. He's still living in the Caymans. Maybe it's literally just the first people he like. I don't know. What is he gonna do with his life if he can't like work? Frankly,
I don't know, man.
I feel like he maybe had no option. Like I don't. I guess he could but no one wants to party with him. But so it's like, what do you do when you're this much?
I know
of
it's
an
crazy. I mean, like he literally became his character from
Other than
Sorry to
give
Bother You. It's
yourself up
crazy.
to the cops, maybe, and confess
Yeah, I
to your
know.
crimes, and I don't know. Otherwise, I guess you're selling timeshares in the Caymans.
Hmm.
A very unique situation that I don't know. It is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
John Burdenthal is going to be an American Gigolo, at a TV series adaptation of a film that Paul Schrader made. I don't know. I might check it out. Paul Schrader has no association with it though.
Okay,
And
good.
Paramount retained the rights to it, so I have no idea.
So yeah, in case you guys didn't know, fuck Paul Schrader. He sucks. Not a good person.
He's old for sure.
Yeah.
He's made a lot of bad
Decisions lately.
He's made a lot of bad comments.
Yep.
I don't think I know. I followed him a lot on. I follow him on Facebook actually, where he says his dumb stuff.
Really?
I don't know. He's just old and not politically correct at all, and I don't think he's actively harming anyone personally.
Yeah. But it just seems weird. I mean, like, dude, how can like people get so stuck in their ways? I mean, like Betty White was like nearly 100 when she died, and she was like It was like one of the most with it elderly people I've ever seen. So I mean, Paul Schrader has no excuse.
As a old white man, perhaps he does long for the days when he was in the prime, when he was getting budgets from studios and releasing them in theaters. He's the bitter Scorsese. Scorsese's learned to adapt to the system and not be an asshole about it. Paul Schrader, for the most part, is not. And while he still gets some budget from, like, I don't know who's producing his newest movie. His last movie was Focus Features, who asked him to shut the fuck up during awards season. But obviously, Card Counter wasn't really going to have a chance. It's a fine movie. And he's made some good stuff. I don't know. It was really weird, because apparently he posted that his only memory of James Caan, who passed away, rest in peace, was that he was playing poker. No, they were apparently a bunch of guys were betting on a game, and apparently Caan was naked.
You playing strip poker or something?
No, apparently everyone was clothed except Caan. And then apparently over the time they were watching the game, James Caan became increasingly upset with Schrader's cheering. Words were exchanged, and then he basically tried to beat him up. I don't know. Weird. Schrader attributes Schrader attributes it to basically like that celebrities could get away with this type of stuff when there were cameras all around in like hotels and stuff. They were doing like wild shit. But I don't know. It's weird. I don't know.
That's just strange. That's a weird ass.
I would say I do admire Paul Schrader's like dedication to like film and like cinema. he has that similar Scorsese approach that I can very much respect in that way. And like he's still friends with Scorsese. Like he apparently sent him a copy of Kim Jong-il's book called On the Art of Cinema, which is very interesting. Apparently, I don't know. Maybe
What?
Apparently, Kim Jong-il likes movies.
Kim Jong-un's dad was a cinephile?
Apparently.
That's fucking weird, man. I don't know, like, just...
I
get that he's a real person, or at least he was before he died, but, like, my god, that's so strange to think about. Like, what authority does he have to make a book on movies? That's so weird. Jesus.
Oh, yeah. And then
my god.
Earlier this year, he said for about a year, well, he got kicked out of an online poker Zoom group for something he said that was I apparently said something inappropriate. Bracket, not unlike me, though not sure how inappropriate it was. I don't know, I think he's just so confused sometimes. I don't know if he just like went to sleep, or maybe he just spends way too much time on film sets that he just forgot that the social world was changing around him, and he just been hanging out in like a celebrity film bubble of white men, and now he just doesn't understand what the fuck's going on in the world.
Yeah, I mean, like, that's definitely a possibility, man.
Thing to like keep him in check.
Yeah.
Honestly, that is my best guess, which is like not entirely his fault. Again, you breed because of the area around him, and it's not like he's done anything way too out of line, but it's also like, yeah.
That's pretty weird, yeah.
Kind of good sneeze. Anyways.
This is fucking strange. Okay, this I learned so much. I actually just learned so much in the last 5 minutes. Thank you for that, Daniel. I really appreciate that.
Education on Paul Schrader.
Yeah, man. What a fucking numpty. Anyways, what else you got? What other news you got, man?
Man, were we talking about? No, yeah, American Gigolo. There's a documentary series set to be put into Netflix about David Beckham's life. Seems a bit early, but then again, Netflix did do a Kanye documentary, so...
Yeah, let's not forget fucking Disney Plus has also made a fucking...
Think that they're at the peak of their fame, and like they've already hit that, then it's like, okay, we can do it now.
No, that's right. I mean, it just seems like sometimes they try and do it a bit too early. Like, especially, like, did you hear about that Giannis Antetokounmpo Disney Plus movie they made?
Yeah, no.
With the guy who doesn't even look like that? I was like, why couldn't they just wait until he retired? Like, for real.
I don't know.
That would be so much better, because his story's not done yet.
I mean, credit to Giannis, he probably got a good check out of that.
Yeah, I guess that's true, but, like, still, man, like, fuck. I wanted to direct that biopic one day. That's not fair. Now I can't, because they've already done it.
You have to wait for
I suppose I could do the sequel.
The John Morant one? Or the Scotty Barnes one, maybe? I don't know. Oh.
Nah, it's not the same. His story was so cool. He fucking was selling trinkets on the streets of Athens to pay. He had to share basketball shoes with his brother in one game. Like, how fucking crazy is that? Like, that's a story that deserved more time and attention. I'm just saying, man.
What was really funny... Sorry, one more thing about Paul Schrader that I'm just looking at.
Oh my god.
Is that he was trying to create an experimental cut of the Nick Cage movie he made, The Dying of the Light, which was terrible, apparently. But he says that it was because the film was taken away from him. You still probably couldn't make it that much better. Apparently sent a copy to the UCLA Film Archive, which holds a bunch of prints to his films. And a Facebook friend pointed out that it's available on the U.S. Archive. But it seems constantly rebuffer in order to play. I don't know. I haven't tried to... it literally says it can't be reached. Okay, well... So much for that. Anyways... It's just kind of funny. I can't imagine it's going to be that good, considering that movie was just really bad. Also, he made a really weird post called "How long before someone registers the domain Hot Republican Chicks?" ? Yeah.
There's a lot to say about that.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to, because otherwise we'd be here too long.
Weird.
Oh my god.
Yeah. He did post one thing that was actually kind of based, though, is that Canada must feel like they live in an apartment above a meth lab, when reference to the United States of America.
Yeah, that's actually funny. I will admit that's pretty accurate.
Even though,
although we're not that much, we're not
he
too much better.
reposted a tweet from some other white guy.
Oh, okay.
And then he's also been praising Irma Vep as one of the better TV shows. It's an art HBO miniseries with Alicia Vikander, which I've thought about checking out, but anyways.
Is that
He's
all
also
like
a Christian, but I don't know, his Christianity is weird. He's made a lot of films about sex, which is very suspect from my perspective. And I don't know. There's this other post he made about his former alma mater, which was like a Christian college, but apparently it became a battleground in America for culture wars. Oh, the saga unfolded after Professor officiated a same-sex wedding. Oh, well. Maybe we'll take a... I don't know. Let's talk about the movies first. I think that's an important enough thing that I think we could talk about, but let's talk about the movies first.
Sure.
Because we've been talking about this for too long, honestly.
Yeah, that's alright.
Let's talk about Elvis.
Not Elvis Costello, Elvis Presley.
Elvis is the newest film from Baz Luhrmann, a 2022 film, directed, of course, by Baz Luhrmann, written by him, Sam Bromwell, and Craig Pierce, who I think has written pretty much every film with him. It stars Austin Butler, Tom Hanks, Olivia DeJonge, and I might have fucked up that name, but also...
I think it's Olivia DeJonge.
DeJonge.
I think that sounds about right.
And then the only other actors I know in this are Kevin Harrison Jr. and then Cody Smith-McPhee also.
Don't forget the Carter Montgomery. He's in that too.
Oh,
you probably don't. Well,
no, I remember. No, I've seen him in Stranger Things now. His character is a fuck. So one of the easily hated characters that I found in TV.
No, that is true.
So easily hateable. Guy sucks. Anyways. Yeah, anyways, this is like a womb to tomb biopic, as they've been calling them, kind of going from the beginning of someone's life, as childhood to their death. Elvis does die, spoiler alert, I'm sorry about that for anyone who doesn't know that. He does die.
Damn it, dude. Like, what the fuck?
I'm sorry I mentioned that. Elvis is Baz Luhrmann's biopic of Elvis Presley from his childhood to becoming a rock and movie star, which I didn't really know about, honestly, in the 50s while maintaining a complex relationship with his manager, Colonel Tom Parker. The interesting thing, I think, about this movie all is how much Colonel Tom Parker is... It's kind of framed from his perspective a little bit. And... yeah, I don't know. I think most people probably didn't know about him, but I think Baz, when looking over Elvis' story, found him to be almost the center of it. And so a big reason he made this movie is because of him. Which I can respect, trying to, approach someone who's like... I feel like not many people know the people around Elvis too well. I think they probably know Priscilla, and then... what was his daughter's name? Anne-Marie?
Lisa Marie.
Lisa Marie. Who ended up marrying Michael Jackson.
Yep.
Is correct.
I forgot. I actually, it's quite a strange relationship that they had, but
anyway,
that's a whole kind of
on to the movie itself. It is 2 hours and 40 minutes long. It's a long.
And my
movie.
God, do you feel it sometimes?
Yeah, that's true. Like, you think it's like, okay, we should be heading into the third act, and you realize there's probably at least an hour and a half left. So no. I definitely felt that kind of a couple times. Where is my review of this thing? Where did I put it? I misplaced it. Wait.
Well, shit.
No, it's here. Okay, here we go.
Okay,
I wrote a decent amount. Anyways, yeah, I don't know. What did you make of this?
Well, first of all, I just want to say, whatever gripes I have about the rest of the movie, I think we can both agree that Austin Butler was Elvis Presley.
Oh, for sure.
I mean, like, no question, he just
about this movie.
Truly embodied the role. Yeah, it's like, it was really hard to, like, not see him as anybody but Elvis Presley, which means he absolutely succeeded at his job as, delivering his performance, and I was quite impressed. I think obviously he was the best part about the movie because it is Elvis. It's about him, and honestly, but I like the scenes especially where it was just him and other people, not him and Tom Parker, because
Yeah.
I don't like Tom Hanks as Colonel Tom Parker, man. I mean, yeah, they had the same name, but I mean, other than that, it was a bit disappointing because Tom Hanks, he's a great actor, we know this, but like his accent was not very good. It was so distracting the entire time. All I could hear was fucking Woody from Toy Story speaking with like some Dutch accent, and it was just very distracting the entire time. Yeah. But I mean, he did make you hate him, which was good, because I think that was his job. Because Charles Tom Parker is a piece of shit. Not like, I'm not saying Elvis is, clean either. I mean, he did kind of groom a 14-year-old and then later marry her. That's not great, but yeah, Colonel Tom Parker also literally was treating him as his slave, which is equally not as good, so. But I mean, actually, I'm just trying to. It's a tough line to dance, though. Which one do you think is worse? I think maybe Elvis's thing is just a little bit worse, for being honest. But I mean,
I don't know. Colonel Tom Parker. Yeah, I don't know. I think in a lot of ways, Elvis was victimized by a lot of things. He was constantly in the spotlight. That's a lot of pressure. And I don't personally understand. What was the grooming thing? How did that work exactly?
Well, Priscilla, right? When do you remember in the movie? Colonel Tom Parker's doing his narration, saying that he fell in love with this general's daughter, like teenage daughter or something like that. I think that's what he said, and that was Priscilla. Yeah, they briefly gloss over it, right? They're trying to get past that part as quickly as possible, just to show the magic of the love, they had, I guess. I mean, it's clear that it was real, but still, it's a little bit weird, I mean, yeah. I mean, but there was a lot of that going around during that time. There was a lot of musicians dating extremely young women,
Yeah, and I don't know. I don't know. Men use their influence to and it's to some extent, it's they were he at least he did the proper thing and waited until they were of age to be married and everything, and did that part kind of correct. Yeah, I don't know. Again, Colonel Tom Parker, I think he kind of pushed Elvis into a situation where a lot of the other choices he made that were clearly bad choices were a lot easier and available to him. Mm-hmm. So I think a good amount has to go to him, kind of as a person who was a surrogate father in some ways, because his actual father, even though he's alive throughout, I think, the whole movie, doesn't do much. And it obviously kind of comes from the fact that he went to prison, and so I guess Elvis never saw him really as his dad, even when he did come back, because he wasn't there when he felt like he really needed him. Which is again, I think this is a very powerful story to tackle overall, with its music as well. I felt moved by this movie overall, but honestly, it wasn't always in the right ways. Like we've said, Austin Butler is great. He really embodies. I think, I don't know. Again, though, I feel like he more transformed into the character of Elvis and not necessarily the man. Not because of his performance. It was more the direction of the whole movie, kind of being, what really stuck out in this movie, and what really energizes you is the montages. I felt like this movie went from a bunch of montages of Elvis doing Elvis things to try to, I guess, maybe contrast the more human, sobering moments. But then those aren't particularly well done, and honestly, I think they stick out like a sore thumb when the pacing of the cuts is slower and characters are getting more emotional. And even Austin Butler acting that well and other actors acting it okay for the most part, I really couldn't connect with that part overall.
Yeah.
It was only even the only part I felt like I was getting a little more emotional was that final piece of footage they show of one of his final performances singing um, Unchained Melody.
Mm.
Yeah, which is obviously not even the movie. And
Yeah, but I mean they do. Well, part of it is right because they put all that makeup on Austin Butler, then they transition into the real Elvis performing that, which is like
yeah,
honestly, like I forgot how like far gone he was by that point in his life. He looked terrible.
yeah,
Like Jesus Christ, like no amount of makeup in the world or like prepping backstage could make that look good. It was just oh my goodness, it was
yeah,
not fun to look at. Just to show how like hollowed out he'd become by the end, you know.
yeah.
Well, not
Like,
entirely, because I mean, like was incredibly constipated, and that kind of contributed to his death. But you know what I mean,
yeah,
like more metaphorically, right? But
yeah. Like,
yeah,
while a lot of this movie really tries to make the filmmaking and Baz's style kind of the star as a, I think it honestly sometimes tries to overpower Austin Butler. Like,
mm.
I think another director easily could have put this, especially if you put it in award season, easily Austin Butler wins Best Actor almost, I'd say. If it was more of a Bohemian Rhapsody, where the filmmaking's not nearly as flashy, where you can really focus on what, he's doing as an actor,
Mm.
then you have an easy Best Picture, like a Best Actor win, frankly. Here, it's like, a lot of the times, even though I think it's trying to accompany the more extravagant Elvis, it ends up kind of fighting it. So in the end, I think I'm probably more moved by the man of Elvis and the actual person that inspired this movie, rather than what the movie does to inspire me with this story.
Mm.
And that's why I overall don't think it's amazing. I constantly find when thinking about Baz Luhrmann's attempts to kind of recontextualize the feeling of music, because between this and Great Gatsby, where he used a lot of hip hop to try to bring that energy of the 20s, it's like and then Elvis, and then also more hip hop music and others, like more like that scene where he's like performing at the Hate concert and they use that really strong electric guitar.
Mm.
It's like I liked that a little bit more, but overall, I think it's almost offensive that Baz thinks that the kids and the people of today won't connect with this unless I use music that has from today, and it's like I think that's kind of offensive to the music that was made back then, because the reason it made back then, it's because it helped define what we're watching right now. It helped define that feeling. 20s music helped define that feeling of excess, of that partying. Elvis's music helped make that, energy and that, like, electricity that his dancing and performance brought to him. Not fucking, was it Doja Cat?
Yeah.
Exactly.
I don't think the Doja Cat song is bad, but I will admit it's very out of place.
Yeah.
To be honest.
Yeah, I basically agree, and it's like, I understand why Baz feels this need. Same with Romeo and Juliet to some extent. That's a little more playful, but it's like, the kids will only get it if I make this a modern movie.
Yeah, but at the same
time, Shakespeare's dialogue, but I'm gonna include, modern music, a modern setting. I'm gonna throw Leonardo DiCaprio because he's hot, and the women will like him, and it's like.
No, I mean I definitely agree. It was an interesting take, but I mean that movie still I still don't understand that.
I really think Baz has a massive ego that he thinks he can kind of like control and educate an audience with his like massive editing and his massive music recontextualization.
That's another thing. I will say the editing. My God, like, is it just me? It was pretty disorienting sometimes. It was violent. I was getting whiplash. It felt like
exactly. It's literally violent, especially in the beginning with those opening montages. I was just like, where am I at first? Like, even in The Great Gatsby, he doesn't attack you as much. Here, he literally attacks you.
No, he does. You're not wrong.
Crazy to me. Yeah. He freaking uses he has the audacity. Probably, I'm sure there's no way he can be ignorant of the fact that the music he used in one the introductions of Elvis is the same music they used in 2001: A Space Odyssey. And it's like, oh, he's trying to use that idea of, this grand, and how Stanley used it to represent the evolution of man. He's going to use it to show the evolution of Elvis, who, in his dialogue has Tom Parker describe him as becoming kind of like a god. Which is like, okay, buddy. Sure, I really wish, the character of Elvis and his own music did more of the talking for him instead of Baz. That's what I think a lot of this does. Baz tries to make it his own. He throws this sparkle sheet on everything he does to be like, this is what's cool. When really it's like Elvis himself, very good movie just by focusing on his music, his person, his people. And honestly, I don't think he's very good when he just has to, when he's forced to focus on just his people. His best moment, trying to reignite some of the more emotional moments in Elvis's life through acting, through staging, through lighting, and I do not feel it. Again, the most impactful moment for me is easily the Unchained Melody performance, which was, again, archive footage. And
well, part of it was.
Yeah. The more important part was, for sure.
Yeah. Is your dad signaling to you? I can see him in the mirror.
Oh, that's my mom.
Oh, that's your mom? Oh, sorry, I couldn't tell from afar.
Oh, apparently I have to go.
You have to go?
Yeah.
Was it dinner?
Yeah, but it's also a dinner not at our place. So...
Well, whenever you get back, we can finish it then, okay?
Yeah, alright. Sounds good.
Sounds good, buddy. See you in a bit, okay?
See you soon.
Alright, bye-bye.
Bye. Let's go ahead. Alright. This is probably the first time I think we've ever had to kind of cut.
Stop halfway through?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's okay. It is what it is, it happens, you know?
Yeah. I think I was looking through my notes, I think I was kind of talking about how I, don't like, I think Baz's use of music is kind of offensive.
Yeah, that's where we were.
Yeah. I think it's, like I said, I think the whole idea that you need to recontextualize is a little redundant. Is great music holds, its impact for over years, for example, Can't Help Falling in Love will, I think, for the foreseeable future be, a song that is played at weddings and high school dances is kind of like a romantic song.
Yeah, that's gonna be a banger through the rest of time, I believe.
It's not like he knew that enough. He just got someone else to sing it, which is, fine. It would be a little weird for Elvis, I guess, to kind of be commenting on his own falling in love. They use it in the scene with Priscilla in the war. And, like I said, his soulful singing will always move people. Again, that last Unchained Melody performance was probably one of the most impactful moments, easily. Really was a good way to, I'll give him credit as a director and an editor. That was a good way to end the movie. When I was leaving the theater, I really, thanks to that and part of the movie, I really did feel like I had an experience.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'd agree with you there. Sure. It was definitely the best way to end it, Because, I mean, I feel like if maybe they showed too much of Elvis deteriorating, it would have been, I don't know, a less satisfying ending, so they kind of kept it short and sweet and maybe left it on a more, optimistic note, I guess, in a way, so...
Yeah.
So that maybe he was kind of maybe making some progress mentally, but not physically, I guess, as we saw, maybe.
Yeah, I don't know. I think another thing I didn't really feel was, Colonel Tom Parker's impact as a person on Elvis. It's more the situation he places him in, which for a dramatic movie I don't think works as effectively. Because obviously you see how being stuck in this hotel, being surrounded by the pills and the women and all that just sends him down a very unhealthy and self-destructive road, and by being stuck in one place. But overall, there's only a couple of scenes that aren't amazing. Like I said, the scenes when it gets down to human drama, of human dialogue, aren't nearly the best. And like you said, while I don't think I dislike what Tom Hanks is doing here as much as a lot of people, I still think he's pretty underwhelming as a character. I don't think he's terrible, but in some ways, the way those are shown, it made me think of Elvis as more of like a dull person, which maybe he was in some ways, but it kind of ignores that in favor of his talent. Like, I don't know, it never really gets to Elvis the human being in some ways, I think, because which is why I kind of say this is about Elvis the character, and that's who Austin Butler is playing, very impeccably so. But and yeah, there is just, it's very clear it's a Baz Luhrmann film, which for a biopic and for all the established content he does, like Quentin Tarantino movies, for example, are Quentin Tarantino movies because they're in like the Quentin Tarantino universe. But we're talking about a movie about a real person in the real world. So personally, I think his approach to filmmaking is just kind of flawed. While I don't think I can deny he has talent and vision, the way his basic, like, his approach to filmmaking, I just kind of inherently disagree with his effectiveness. And maybe it works for some people, and maybe depending on what he covers, it'll be better. Like, I think this is easily better than The Great Gatsby. But again, I don't know. I think someone with a more dramatic and like if David Fincher directed an Elvis movie, like the way he directs, you know, like just a simple human drama between people, like someone like David Fincher does that, is so much more effective. But I will give Baz credit, at least, that he is like a distinct voice and an artistic voice. I'll give.
Yeah, I mean, like every time you watch a Baz Luhrmann movie, you can say, you know, another cameo from Papa Ang. But every time you watch a Baz Luhrmann movie, like you automatically like sense it, you know, from the beginning. Like he always sets the tone with some wacky shit. You know, it's like for Romeo and Juliet. It was just that, you know, over-the-top opera music, Jamie Kennedy licking his own nipple, all that weird standoff shit at the gas station, you know, and then for this one it was all the seizing, I guess, in the that tent that young Elvis went to, and then Austin Butler's pelvic movements, which, you know, I do have to say, I did enjoy. Okay, I can't lie there. It was a nice time in the theater to watch that, but we didn't get to see too much other stuff like that in the movie, except for that scene at the baseball stadium. That was really about it, and then after that it was pretty tame, which is unfortunate. It's unfortunate, but that's okay. You know, I just figured like 2.5 hours, you know, we'd maybe get to see just a little bit more.
You think you'd see more of what it feels like this movie should be sometimes about. But you don't somehow. I don't know. Apparently, there's also a 4-hour cut of this film. I don't know if you remember. I think I mentioned that maybe once.
Yeah.
But apparently, there's a 4-hour cut of it.
What the hell did they cut out, though? That's what I'm wondering.
That's a great question. I don't know. Maybe Baz.
There's a lot of stuff in there.
Or maybe we'll be able to watch it, but I doubt I'm watching this movie again.
I don't mind saying through a 4-hour cut of Justice League, but my god, I don't know if I could do a 4-hour cut of Baz Luhrmann style filmmaking.
I forget every day that I watch the Snyder cut, honestly. The Luhrmann cut, or it's gonna probably be called the Baz cut.
The Baz cut.
Baz cut. Hashtag Baz cut 2022.
Oh my goodness.
Alright, cool. We started it. If it happens, it was us. We started it. Not that it won't.
Yeah. There was one other thing I'd like to say that I really liked about the film, and some other people are commenting on this as well, so I just want to make sure I'm not the only one who's saying this. I want to say it's not like an original thought, but I have to say that I like each and every one of Elvis's performances. Like, his stage performances is like expertly done, like just down to small details, like the amount of sweat was on his face, you know, because I mean, like, we see a lot of performances in like other musical biopics, and I don't know, the performers look like pretty static most of the time, you know, like they don't. It doesn't seem like they've been through a ton, but because Elvis was such an energetic performer, right, he's just drenched in sweat after like every performance, and like you really feel like the the weight and like how much each performance is taking a toll on him, and I think that's like kind of an interesting thing to show on the screen. I don't know if I've ever seen anything like that before. I don't know about you, but yeah.
I think the costuming and the set pieces, like a lot of the technical stuff, is pretty good.
Yeah.
I thought the sound mixing wasn't great, honestly, a lot of the time. I think sometimes the dialogue was too quiet, and the music was maybe a little bit too loud, honestly.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
Also, his daughter's not barely in the movie.
Yes, that's true.
Weird.
Yeah. Not the best, but oh well.
Anyways,
maybe we can see the sequel where his daughter dates Michael Jackson.
Yeah, in the No one's done a Michael Jackson. Has anyone done a Michael Jackson?
No, there has not been a Michael Jackson biopic.
I don't know if any.
Which is weird. Why the fuck hasn't there been?
Probably, I don't know. Maybe it's because they don't want to touch the fall aspect of it.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. I don't know.
But still, like, I think that if a Michael Jackson movie came out, it would be like a smash hit. You know, regardless of whether it's good or not, just because it's Michael Jackson. You know, like his brand still carries a big weight, even with all the, you know, the reports of him being a child molester. So, yeah.
Anyways, what do you want to give this film?
I'd probably give it like I want to say a 6. I could take a 6, to be honest. 6 or like a 5.5.
Okay. Yeah, no, I was there with you. I'm a 6 out of 10 for this.
Yeah.
It's just like, I don't hate that I watched it. It was an experience, but it's like,
just an assault on all your senses, that's for sure.
There's just a lot of things that I'm just like, in the end, it's kind of meh.
Yeah.
Even though I don't know, the score is kind of misleading because it's not really a meh movie because of just how much is being thrown at you and how long it is. But
yep. Yeah.
It's kind of
that's alright.
A movie of a lot of substance, yet not very much at all.
That is true.
All right.
But yeah, I mean, now we can get on to a more tame movie in comparison, albeit it is still a bit over the top, which is perfectly fine. But we're gonna
filmmaking, but maybe not in its characters.
Yeah, no, of course. But this one is called The Adventures of Priscilla, Queen of the Desert. It's a 1994 Australian movie.
Correct.
I believe that's what the year it came out. Yeah, and I wanted to watch it because I'm trying to get more in touch with my roots. In case, for those of you who don't know, I'm half Australian. I mean, my dad's from Victoria. That's a state in Australia, and I don't get to see my family too much. So as a result, I'm trying to catch up on all the famous Australian movies that turn some local stars into Hollywood heroes. And of course, we got Hugo Weaving and Guy Pearce in this one, before they became really big in America, which I think is pretty cool. So, because I believe 3 years after this movie, Guy Pearce landed the role that launched him into stardom, which was in LA Confidential, right? So, I
forgot he was in that before Memento. Actually, which is kind of weird, because LA Confidential was a pretty big movie. And then
no, it was, yeah.
But I guess Guy Pearce was the lead of Memento. The lead.
Yeah, him and Russell Crowe were the lead in that one. Yeah. Yeah, but then, then obviously, we know Hugo Weaving went on to do The Matrix, not too long after this, 5 years after, so. Yeah. No, all around crazy film that, launched a few careers, which is pretty cool. And, also won the Academy Award for Best Costumes, which I discussed with you earlier in the week, and, you can see why.
Yeah.
Every drag queen costume is just completely elaborate. It's amazing. They all look great.
It kind of defines their character well, I think.
Yeah. No, I definitely say so. Yeah. Yeah, but overall, what did you think of this movie?
I'm gonna while the characters, and who they're representing, a little unprecedented for a movie that was distributed by MGM from Australia.
At the time it was released.
Yeah, with these actors at the time it was released. But in the same way that those are becoming more normal, I think this sort of fits that. Because while this is by no means a bad film whatsoever, but it's also not, especially filmmaking wise, not doing anything amazing. But it's still a quite charming, fun movie with distinct characters that kind of go on a nice road trip, and I was there for that, and I honestly wouldn't ask anything more of a film like this, and I'm perfectly happy it exists as it is, and honestly I wouldn't want to change it any. I think
I mean, me too. I mean, I thought it was great. I was, I didn't know what to expect, obviously, because, I just heard, like, good things about it, and I was like, I'll give this a go and maybe drag you in there along with me, and, no, I found myself laughing quite a bit, actually. I haven't laughed that hard watching a movie in a while, to be honest with you. I mean, like, it was... I found it to be pretty funny. I mean, mainly because, like, there's just a lot of, I don't know, more, like, gay jokes for the people in the community. I don't know if you got any of those, but, I mean, like, I definitely enjoyed some of them.
I definitely saw the wit in there, for sure. I guess part of it is because I'm not part of the community, but also just, I think, in general, wasn't necessarily my sense of humor.
No, I mean, that's totally fine. I mean, it's also Australian humor mixed in there, right?
That's true, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so Australian humor is it's something else.
I appreciated it more than I personally laughed at it for the most part.
Yeah.
I think the actors do a really good job. I think Terrence Stamp particularly does that the best.
No, I would agree.
He was really great doing that role. And yeah, all of them kind of have their own little dramas going on, and I think
they do.
They weave those well throughout the story. I mean, I enjoy, like, it's sometimes a little hard to kind of see, but I don't know, it's just like, it's a nice simple plot. They're gonna go do this performance in a different place after I think it was Terrence Stamp's partner dies.
Yeah.
And then they go on a road trip, and I kind of just like how, I remember the one scene that sticks out to me is when they just lock Guy Pearce out of the bus, and they literally just don't give a fuck. They're just like,
yeah, no, I mean, that one was definitely pretty funny. I also like there's a couple scenes. I think the other one that really sticks out to me is when Guy Pearce is talking to Terrence Stamp's character about how he has, like, an abattoir that he stole from her dressing, like, one of the singers, like, dressing room toilets, and I just thought that was so bizarre, and I was here for it. It just really caught me off guard. Yeah. I also really liked, I think that the mechanics, prostitute wife, just, like, doing that weird shit with the ping pong balls, that was... Yeah. That one just came out of nowhere, and then, like, and my favorite part of that whole thing is just that Guy Pearce's character is, that Felicia Jolly Goodfellow, I believe that's his stage name, and it was just so funny, because he was just cackling the entire time, and he was honestly my favorite part about the film. His character was such a delight. I think he acted the hell out of that, and I just, it was... Every time he was on screen, that was when I laughed the hardest, to be honest, because I think he had some of the best lines in the movie. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I personally don't like the mechanic's wife. Personally.
Well, I mean, obviously, it's not for everyone. I just thought it was so bizarre, and I didn't expect it.
Quite
to happen,
bizarre.
right?
I think the characters. I'm gonna say it. I think
it's an Asian stereotype. Don't get me wrong. I'm not talking about her as a person. I'm talking about just the action that she was doing. That's all.
Yeah, that's fine. No, that is.
Yeah.
I just don't love thinking about that character. So, like, just having her on screen kind of takes that away from me to enjoy the kind of the humorous of this situation.
I think she was Filipino as well. I thought I heard some Tagalog in there or something like that. But yeah, I think that's what they were going for. But yeah,
yes,
it was interesting. But I'm not trying to argue with that. It was definitely an Asian stereotype. Unfortunately, there was a lot of that during the '90s and before that as well. So yeah, it was kind of in that weird transition period, I guess, where movies were starting to move away from that. So
yeah, it also hurts for a movie that's doing revolutionary representation to fleshed out.
Yeah, I know, punch down a little bit. I get it. Yeah,
there's a stereotype.
In this movie, just unfortunate. No, that definitely is. I'm not gonna argue with you that it's definitely one of the problems. Like some aspects of this film don't age the best, but I think it is definitely a trailblazer in terms of, I guess, representation. Because I think up to this point we hadn't really seen like any films like
Not
this.
really.
I can't even remember
I'm
one.
sure they exist, but definitely not really at the studio
Not to this
level. Not
to
at
the
the
effect
studio
that this.
level like this one we
Yeah,
had. Not that's going to
yeah.
be nominated for any Oscars.
Oscars,
Winning,
yeah.
let alone winning any. So
Mm.
for sure,
Yeah.
a lot of credit due to this film. But
No, it's definitely good. It's definitely good. Yeah, and it actually, I don't know if you heard about this, but it actually inspired a really like a smash hit Broadway musical.
oh, okay.
Yeah, well, it started in the West End, and then it went to Broadway. And actually, Dustin from Stranger Things got a start on there, if you can believe that. So,
Oh yeah,
yeah,
that is I think where they got a bunch of the kids is from Broadway.
yeah, no, that's definitely
So I
that's
think
pretty
also
cool.
Caleb from
Yeah,
McLaughlin came from the Broadway.
yeah, I think he did too.
I mean,
Yeah,
that seems like a very logical place to look for talented young actors.
yeah.
Uh,
No, it definitely is.
Anyways,
And speaking of talented young actors, I mean, like I liked, like although the kid's performance is brief, I thought it was like it was nice, and I liked the scene that him and Hugo Weaving had, where like he was talking about like how he just doesn't really give a crap that he's a bloke who likes blokes, as the Australians would say, and it was kind of nice. And then we see at the end where he takes him to like one of his performances, and he's like helping move with the lights. I thought that was a nice ending, really.
yeah, no, the
Yeah.
kid was very charming. I think that worked very well as like kind of a kid, and also the wife was a much like a nicer character than I
Yeah, no,
thought.
she was. I think it was hinted at. Well, they said that the kids was saying that she had a girlfriend, so I think she was like either a lesbian or
Okay.
bi or something like that. So maybe
Okay.
that's why she was
Yeah.
more accepting,
No,
right? So
I like that part. That's also another thing is that with a lot of early, LGBTQ content, that you often have loved ones or people close to those who are coming out or who have already come out having a lot of hostility to them. So it was nice to see a more wholesome accepting ending with an accepting ex-wife and a kid. So
yeah,
it was a really
exactly.
charming, nice ending. I really appreciate
No, it definitely
the
was.
movie,
Yeah,
and
that's
it's
for
not
sure.
like overly cheesy either. It's just nice.
Yeah, no, it's perfectly well done. It wasn't too over the top. I also liked, I liked them doing their little. There was like a quest, right? Because they wanted to climb that canyon in their full drag outfits, and I
Right.
thought that was pretty
Oh yeah,
funny
that
as
was
well.
cool. No,
Yeah, it was good. That was a nice little touching moment as well. And it was cool that I think it was Bernice. I think that's what her transition name is. And of course Adam Whitley keeps on like calling her Ralph. He keeps on dead naming her, and it's
Yeah.
like that's one part that I should also say hasn't aged well, because dead naming isn't really cool anymore, right? But yeah, it's kind of played off for laughs there. But
Yeah.
yeah, it was nice that she found some solace with the mechanic, and they decided to stay together. That was another good part about the ending. So
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. But yeah, do you have anything else you want to say about this, or?
Not really. I'm good.
All right. Well, that's cool. Well, since it was my choice, I'll ask you first. What did you think of it? Like, what would you give it out of 10?
I think I'd also give it a 6 out of 10. Again, like pretty.
Did you like it better than Elvis, though? That's what I'll ask.
I don't know. That's such a tough comparison, because I think Elvis is definitely a more flawed film overall. But this is also doing a lot less.
Mm.
So it's like, I think it would maybe depend on the mood I'm in, honestly.
It's understandable.
I think,
Yeah.
but I think overall, I would more likely be willing to watch Priscilla, Queen of the Desert, because it's just.
I mean, yeah, that's for sure.
Elvis is
Yeah.
just a, yeah. I
Yeah.
can imagine myself watching. Priscilla.
Yeah.
The Adventure of
I
Priscilla.
mean, it's cool. Actually, I just realized technically these two films are like all Australian, because they were both filmed in Australia. If you didn't know that, and the majority of the cast in all of them are Australian. So
That is true.
yeah, there's like barely any Americans in there besides Tom Hanks and Austin Butler. I think pretty much everyone else is Australian or something like that.
Well,
Like-
Kevin Harrison Jr. I'm pretty sure is.
Oh well, obviously, yeah, not him. But for talking about the guy that Elvis the guy that Elvis's manager used to manage before him. He's Australian. That's David Wenham from Lord of the Rings. And then what else? There's Khaleesi McPhee is also Australian, right? We know that. Then Dakari Montgomery, also Australian. And then Olivia DeJonge, who plays Priscilla Presley, is also Australian as well. Yeah. So, and then Elvis's dad is also Australian, and so is his mom in the film. Yeah, well, there you go. And I'm sorry, I don't mean to keep on delaying my rating. I just wanted to reflect on that. It's kind of interesting, like how Australian this week has been. So, yeah, very cool. Didn't even really plan it like that, but it happened. But anyways, I'll stop delaying it. I'm probably going to give this film like a 7. I'd go a little bit higher than you. I definitely want to watch this again, especially with some of my gay friends. The faggot squad, whatever you want to call us. I think it'll be fun. Yeah, I think it'll be cool. I think it'll be a nice time. I think we'd all have a good time watching it together. Because I don't know how many of my friends have actually seen this movie, and I'd really like to introduce it to them. So, yeah, they might get a kick out of it. But yeah, sure. Yeah. There you go. Cool.
All right.
Alrighty.
All right.
Yeah, what shall we do next week?
Oh, good question. Are you gonna see Thor?
I'm trying to figure out when the hell I'm gonna be able to see Thor, though. That's the only problem. Let me check my calendar real quick. Hold on. I'm gonna see if I can find a day where I could go see it. Okay, hold on. Come on, let's take a look. So tomorrow I got work. Friday I got work as well. Saturday, Sunday. I could potentially see it on Monday, although it would be close because with our game and stuff like that. I also have a dentist appointment I have to go to.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, just trying to figure it out here. It's a bit tricky to go see it before work as well, though. So, let me just see. Okay, so I could potentially try and watch it Saturday before work. I'll have to see.
Okay.
But yeah, I think I could potentially do that.
All right.
Nice. Yeah, and then what else do you want to watch? Do you want to do another movie with that?
Yeah. Let me see. I'm trying. So, I might as well mention. So TIFF had, I don't know if I mentioned a bunch of those TIFF Cinematique series, the ones that are for free if you're a TIFF member.
Yeah.
There is a showing for Sympathy for Mr. Vengeance that I'm hoping to see on Friday. So we could maybe do that. But also, I found that I wasn't really informed of this, but I had secured tickets for this past Sunday, but I couldn't go. But it turns out that there's a fee if you don't return them. There's like a cancellation fee.
Oh, I see.
I did not know about that at all. So I ended up getting charged like $70, which is
that's annoying.
Great.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to appeal a little bit. I'm hoping they'll understand that I literally did not know at all, but it doesn't work out. Anyways, point
Shit.
Is, I definitely want.
Sorry, hold on. Did I let my dog back in? Oh my god! Hold on. Sorry.
That's okay.
Shit. Hold on. Ah! Fuck. Rosie! Oh my god!
Ladies and gentlemen, he's coming back. I think. Man, Death Proof is really in her top 4 favorite. That's honestly pretty wild.
Yep, I left her outside. Fuck. I knew I forgot something. It's okay. She's fine. I gave her a treat to apologize, so hopefully she accepts that. Okay. Anyways, where were we? What are we thinking about?
Oh yeah. So I was saying that I'm probably going to be seeing Sympathy for Mr. Vengeance on Friday, and I'm hoping that TIFF understands that I did not know about their cancellation policy and they gave me some of my money back, because I am about to...
I don't know if that's going to work, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, but it's worth a shot, you know?
Yep.
Might as well give it a go.
But yeah, I think the Sea Beast also came out, and apparently that's pretty solid.
Yeah, no, I've heard that. We can check that out if you want.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, maybe we'll prioritize Sea Beast only because I think it's easy for both of us to see.
Yeah.
And then
yeah.
Depending on if you see Thor: Love and Thunder, or if you can and just stay home and watch Sympathy for Mr. Vengeance, you pick one of the two. I'd say whichever you think you can do.
Yeah, I'll probably just watch the Sea Beast. I was actually planning on watching it anyway, so I've heard it's good. Yeah.
Yeah, and then
also, have you watched The Boys yet?
I have.
Okay, what did you think of the finale? Because I thought it was like slightly disappointing, but I still liked it. You know.
Yeah, I kind of say the same. I wasn't like blown away or anything, but you know, it's good.
Yeah. It's still peak TV. I still quite like it.
Yeah, I like. There's other TV shows I'm liking a lot more, but it's good. I will. Watch it. I will watch season 4. I'm still gonna watch it for sure.
Yeah.
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 All right.
All right. Great. Well, we got our plan. Sweet.
So,
Did we do an outro? I don't think we did.
No, we didn't.
Oh shit. Well, we'll just quickly do that now, then. Eh?
Yeah.
All right. All right. Do you want to go first, or should
I? You can go.
Okay. All right, ladies, gentlemen, non-binary folks, thank you so much for watching today's episode. We will see you back next week, where we are going to be talking about Thor: Love and Thunder, and either the Sea Beast or what was the other movie again?
Sympathy for Mr. Vengeance.
Sympathy for Mr. Vengeance. That's the one. Yeah. So yeah, that second movie will remain a mystery, but definitely going to be going to see Thor: Love and Thunder. It shall be good. Great, and yeah, we'll see you all next week. Take it easy.
See you guys.
Yeah. Man. I gotta start making my own videos.
Thank you, boys. Thank you.